So Sony Santa Monica's multiple titles in development, new PSP3 is more likely coming, and this is the week for Astro's launch, and maybe more. We'll talk about that. And those are the stories we're going to cover today, and if you could hit that like button on the video, thank you to those that do it, and as always, it's very much appreciated. First, from 1 to 10, what is your hype level for Astrobot dropping later this week? The game drops just days away from now, and I'm wondering where everyone's hype is at. So comment below from 1 to 10, what is your current hype level for Astrobot? Let me know down in the comments below. Now, diving into the first story of the video, this is the week for Astrobot's launch, and maybe more, emphasizing maybe here. So we're finally in the first week of September. Astrobot is finally going to get released later this week on Friday, September 6th. The hype people have had for this game online has put a smile on my face. I just hope this translates into a lot of sales to show Sony that yes, we want more games like this. No one can blame Sony if this doesn't sell well. They've put out a great product, I would assume. They've given out several gameplay trailers. It's been at multiple gaming events, and Sony has been marketing the game left and right. So support this game if you want Sony to make more games like this. It's really as simple as that. I hope that if Sony sees success here with Astrobot, they'll maybe give other games a chance in the platformer genre, like Sly Cooper, for example, which is still standing in limbo and needs another game to close out the story at least. Ratchet & Clank obviously is still getting games, and another Ratchet is coming according to leaks, so we're good there. I don't know about Jak and Daxter, only because I don't know if Naughty Dog is really going to let another studio take on the IP like Sucker Punch did with Sly Cooper, but we'll see. Beyond that, this is the first week of September, and we could, emphasizing could here, finally be getting the reveal of the PlayStation 5 Pro. I'll talk more about that on Wednesday if nothing happens by then, but that's also a possibility for this week, which is exciting and also a bit worrying because I'm wondering if we're just going to get a random blog post from Sony sometime this week and then we move on with our lives. Hopefully that's not the case and we get an actual, event, something, a video drop with Mark Cerny at least talking about the thing and telling us why we should be excited. We'll see how it goes, and if you're enjoying the video so far, hit that subscribe button and join our growing community on our way to 150,000 subscribers. Now, diving into the second story of the video, Sony Santa Monica confirms they have multiple titles in the works. So they've kind of already confirmed this to us in the past with the fact that they were working on God of War Ragnarok and another game at the same time. So I assume that the team that was working on Ragnarok is probably working on the next God of War title. And also, obviously, we've seen multiple job listings for that as well. Something God of War related is in the works. And obviously, the other team is Cory Barlog's team, and they've been working on a new IP that I really hope gets revealed sometime soon. But reading into today's news, reading from PlayStation Lifestyle, Sony Santa Monica Studio, the developer behind God of War franchise, has numerous unannounced projects in the pipeline according to the LinkedIn profile of Albertina Chu, a senior manager at the company. Chu's resume mentions that she is working on several unannounced titles, and it is believed that the studio has divided into two teams, much how Naughty Dog did back in 2009 with the development of Uncharted 3, Drake's Deception, and The Last of Us. The following is an outline of Chu's responsibilities that specifically mentions the unannounced projects. Co-manages the studio production team, 30 producers, which supports 250 internal developers collaborating to create and deliver content for several unannounced titles, responsible for individual growth and coaching, mentorship, and performance management for producers across many disciplines, including design, art, technology, narrative worlds, external development, and project management. This isn't the first time we've heard about a new project at Sony Santa Monica, as back in July this year, it was revealed that the company was hiring for multiple roles for an undisclosed titles. They say titles here, plural, that's the focus. Back in November 2023, the God of War creator also took on former Gears of War franchise narrative director Bonnie Jean Ma as its new narrative director. So this is exciting stuff because it's nice to get any type of confirmation from the studio themselves, and this tells us once again that while God of War Ragnarok was being made, there was another title in the works. Again, Cory Barlog already informed us of this back in 2022, but it's always nice to get more confirmation from the studio themselves. Cory's game has probably been in the works since 2019, so I hope that means it's very close to a reveal and launch at this point. God of War 6 obviously is coming after that, with God of War Ragnarok releasing just 2 years ago, so that needs time to cook. But you guys let me know if you're excited for a new IP from Sony Santa Monica or not. Let me know down in the comments below.
No, boy! Do it!
And now diving into the final story of the video, the PSP 3 is more likely. So this is a bit of an older story at this point, but I never got a chance to cover it, mainly because of the PlayStation 5 Pro stories and leaks that kept coming up. Obviously that became the focus, but I did want to talk about this because I'm very excited for a dedicated handheld from Sony, obviously. So as a refresher, Moore's Law is Dead talked about the PSP 3 not too long ago, stating that it's a handheld that's meant to play all PlayStation 4 games and some PlayStation 5 games with a Pro-like patch. He said it's in early development and is at least 2 years out. He said it's also possible that this thing could be launching with the PlayStation 6 family as a weaker console, but an alternative for the Japanese market. I obviously want to get my hands as soon as possible on this thing, so I'll take the sooner approach rather than later, because the PlayStation 6 is probably a 2027, 2028 thing. So if we can get the handheld before then, I'll definitely take that, obviously. Moving over to the latest story on this, reading from Push Square, Sony is allegedly keeping a close eye on the handheld market following the surprise success of the PlayStation Portal. Despite being panned pre-release in public opinion polls on sites like Push Square, the remote play accessory has gone on to become a bit of a sensation, blowing past the platform holder's pre-release sales estimates and topping revenue charts around the world. Obviously, a $200 MSRP is playing a part in the latter, but it's worth noting it's competing against similarly priced accessories like the DualSense Edge, which aren't performing anywhere near the same level. Well-connected tipster Tom Henderson wrote on X or Twitter that the Japanese giant is paying very close attention to the handheld market in the aftermath of PlayStation Portal's success. So this is definitely exciting to hear, and I've been seeing people loving their portals everywhere I look, and you see videos on YouTube popping up of people reviewing it and really enjoying the handheld accessory. It makes sense for Sony to make a proper handheld because they won't have the same issue they had with the PSVIta or PSP, where they have to have dedicated games for this platform. This new handheld will just play what's already on the console side, so they don't need to stress as much about how many handhelds are sold to justify making games for the platform, because it'll just be expanding the console market more so. You make games for the console and move it over to this thing and you're good to go. I'm excited to hear Sony is paying close attention to this. Now is the time to make noise about wanting a PlayStation Portable 3, so if you want that, make noise online, let them know, yes, we want this. And obviously, if you haven't bought the PlayStation Portal, pick one up. It's cheap and it's actually really useful and it's fun to use. But you guys let me know if you want a PSP 3 or not. Let me know down in the comments below. And if you guys did enjoy this video, please hit that like button, as it always helps. So subscribe if you're new. I got new videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And now I'll check you guys out on the next one. And welcome back to the after show. This is the part of the video where we have a little fun down in the comments below. If you're old, welcome back. If you're new, welcome. For today's thing, what I want you guys to do is to body, obliterate, destroy, and overall harass the comment section with "Give us a show, Sony." So there's a possibility that we might just get a blog post for the PlayStation 5 Pro, but I want a bit of a show. I want Mark Cerny to talk about this thing. I want them to show me something to get excited about in terms of new games. Hopefully that's the case, but there might be just the blog posts. But if you want them to have a show, destroy the comment section with "Give us a show, Sony," and I'll definitely heart those comments like I always do, because I appreciate everybody who stays to the end of my videos. And now I'll check you guys out on the next one.